Hello and welcome back to the MJ Social YouTube channel. This is the place where I host my podcast and I talk about a whole different range of business related topics, specifically marketing most of the time. But yeah, I just hopefully bring content to you that is informative and entertaining. And if you think that, then make sure to hit the subscribe button. It would be absolutely brilliant to see you subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment at the end and tell me what it is that you thought about it. So today's topic is, as you've seen from the title, all about personal branding. And this is a topic I'm very passionate about, I love working on, but it's something I get quite a few questions about, and a lot of people find it quite cringeworthy, which I totally understand. Like, it can be a bit of a egotistical kind of topic, but if we're going to kind of define what personal branding is and talk about it, then the best thing we need to do is to just kind of look at branding in general, really. So branding is the process of building expectations within the consumer's mind. And what we mean by that is when you see a brand, so when you see a product on a shelf, it should evoke certain emotions. Now that feels like quite a strong word. Thoughts, feelings, and expectations. So when you see Apple, you might think something different to when you see LG, or if you see Coca-Cola, you might think something different to when you see Pepsi. And that is branding. That is creating an image in your mind and what you think that brand possesses and what it can bring to you and whether or not you want to be associated with that. The key to branding is making sure that what your consumers think, or what your potential consumers think, matches what you want them to think. And that can be really tough, and it kind of comes down to effective branding, really. If your branding is not effective, and by branding we're not just talking about logos and colours and fonts and that kind of thing, we're talking about brand values, tone of voice, messaging, all these different things come into branding. If yours isn't effective, then you're not going to get people thinking the way you want them to think about your business or your product. So a lot of people talk about USPs within branding, and this goes for personal branding too, which we'll come on to in a second. But when you think about a USP, a lot of people think of it as being like an actual attribute of your service or product, which it can be, but it can also be the way your brand holds itself, the way it presents itself, its kind of personality, if you wish. And that's really key when it comes to personal branding. We're trying to find what that USP is about you as an individual and making sure people understand that. So personal branding can apply to any individual, whether you're at school and you're looking to stand out for school council, or you're leaving education and you're going into your first job. Maybe you're a senior member of staff within a company and you're looking to go to like C-suite level. Maybe you're a director and you want to build your brand for your business but use your personal brand to do that. Maybe you're a sports star who wants to cash in on your audience that you've got. Whoever you are, personal branding, whether you like it or not, I'm going to say it, whether you like it or not, it applies to you. For general members of the public, I would say personal branding is slowly replacing the CV. Now, I think we will always have the CV because it's a great opportunity for employers to go through and tick a few boxes and make sure you've got the right criteria for what they want. But ultimately, what gets you that job is personal branding, not your CV. So everyone can create a personal brand. It's a message to the outside world telling them who you are, basically. And when you are building your personal brand, there are 3 key questions to think about, and I've written them down so don't forget them. So first one is, what are you passionate about? Second one is, what do you have knowledge about? And the third one is, what do you want to be known for? So what we're talking about when it comes to passion is the thing that you do when you go home. Now, it might be your job. You might be really passionate about what you do in your job. That's absolutely fine. But what is your passion? Number 2 is, what do you have knowledge about? And now this is about the area that you maybe know a bit more than everyone else. You've got a bit of expertise in. And number 3, what do you want to be known for? So where are we aiming? What's the whole point of this personal branding process? Where's it going? Once you've answered these questions as individual questions, then you need to look at whether there are any crossovers between each of these different areas. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail there because I think just answering them 3 questions will give you a really good idea what your personal brand could be. And it can be quite complicated when you try and match them up. But if you feel you can do it, then do look at where them crossovers are. So that's what you really need to be thinking about when you're trying to build a personal brand. But going back to this question of like what is personal branding, and a question that's kind of associated with that, what is personal branding? I'm usually asked, why is it important? So I understand that it's replacing my CV, potentially, if they believe that or not. I understand that it's communicating with other people who I am. But why is that important? Well, if your personal brand works, then you'll be able to connect with people on both a professional and a personal level. And we all know that people buy from people. People like to hear stories, like to interact with people they can connect with and engage with and feel that there's some kind of similarity between them. And once you've built that bond, there's then an opportunity to build something beyond that, whether that is getting that job because you feel that you've connected with the recruiter, or you're, like, say, a sports star and you've built that connection. You can then kind of cash in on that, like sell merch or create content that they watch which has adverts included, or whatever it might be. It just gives you that ability to take whatever you're doing now to the next level and with more people. So if your personal brand is effective, you should find that you're connecting with more people who are relevant and interested in what you do. Now, from my point of view as a social media marketer, the whole point I do personal branding is so that people know who I am and what I'm about. So when they're looking for someone to help them with their social media, they can see that I align with their values and that they want to work with somebody like me. So they'll reach out to me and they'll do business with me rather than one of my competitors. Now, a lot of people say, well, what about if they don't align with you? Then they might go somewhere else. And I personally, my belief is, and you might not agree with this, that is absolutely fine. If they want to align with me and what I'm talking about, then will be a much better match long term. Whereas if I get someone who completely opposes what I believe in terms of my approach to social media, my values, my kind of personality, the way I write, that kind of thing, all builds part of my personal brand. If they don't connect with that, it's probably not going to last as a relationship in a business sense. So they'll probably move out. And having a personal brand at the moment, while most people are ignoring it, helps you stand out from the crowd. And in modern times, it's exceptionally important because we've all got hundreds of connections, on LinkedIn. We're all following thousands of people. We're all got lots of friends on Facebook and whatever. So if you've got a clear personal brand, it allows you to stand out from the crowd. And if you're still not convinced, I've got a little stat for you. Personal branding has been behind the rise of influencer marketing, an industry set to be worth $15 billion by 2022. So if personal branding isn't important, then how the hell has an industry worth 15 billion been able to be built on that concept alone? So hopefully this short video has answered what is personal branding by relating it back to normal branding, giving you a quick idea of how you can build it, very short insight into that, and then explain why it is important. If you disagree with me, I genuinely would love to hear from you. Let me know down in the comments what you think about personal branding, whether it's something you're actively pursuing or if it's something you feel is fake news, let's say. I would love to hear from you, but in my opinion, who knows what's possible with a strong personal brand, and I feel everybody should be starting to build theirs now. If you are interested in building your personal brand and you don't know where to start, I am offering free consultations for 30 minutes, and I also offer coaching and strategy packages. They are mainly targeted at business brands, but they are adaptable for personal brands. So if you want to find out more about that, then do drop me a message, leave a comment below, or find me on social media at the MJ Social on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will happily have a conversation with you about the virtues of personal branding and how we could possibly work together. But until next time, thanks for watching.